At this time, it is an honor and a privilege to introduce the valedictorian for the class of 2014, a young man who has achieved the highest honors in each academic discipline in our high school, a remarkable thespian, an outstanding scholar, and a true gentleman in every sense of the word, Mr. Liam Hoffmeister.
Dr. Shartner, Board of Education, Mr. Hoffer and high school staff, family, friends, and the class of 2014. Good morning. Now, I've come to our school's graduation for the past few years to help sell water, to burn in the sun, as many of us are today, and to take notes from Senator Schumer and his presentation in case I was ever to be put in this speech-giving situation. And even though he isn't here today, I think I've found the key to success. You see this speech here? Now that's what I think of it. Whew. Well, now that I've had my adrenaline rush of the day and enacted the surefire successful speech ritual, I'll read to you copy number 2 of what I have prepared. I look out across the field today and feel the need to reminisce. You all feel the joyous memories of my past. We have our own unique Sable history, which has left an indelible mark in my mind. Think of all we have shared. Middle school dances, Frost Valley, and STD presentations of graphic detail are only a few of the examples of the memories littering my mind. But beyond these memories, look at all the opportunities we've been able to share in high school. Classes, which have united us in struggle. Sports teams, which have united us in victory. Performing groups and art exhibits, which have united us in artistry. And a mess of clubs and community service organizations, which have united us in altruism. I'm appreciative that Sable has afforded us these privileges of programs. However, I'm here to inform you today, the class of 2014, that it's all over. That's right, done. Our time here is done, and after today, we're the class of it doesn't really matter anymore. Now the initial reaction may be, oh, boo-hoo, oh no, high school's over, but our passing is a strikingly beautiful yet personally terrifying process. Every moment of our lives has led to now, our literal graduation. Every person, every place, and everything has brought us here to the now and our impending future. Despite a daily onslaught of challenges, including indomitable testing, environmental stresses, and hormones, we persevered with inner strength and the aid of those around us, and we conquered these unique foes of adolescence. We did it, yeah. Go us, yeah. However, what happens after today? Where do we go from here? Well, we go our separate ways and start much more independent lives, but if we forget our past, well, what do we really have left? Yet if we dwell in our past, how do we progress? Today, I'd like to share with you what I think may be the key to living for tomorrow whilst valuing the past. But I'll get to that later, because I've got a 5-minute slot to fill, and I'd hate to disappoint. With this, the past is in the past mentality, it's time to ask ourselves the question, what do we want out of tomorrow? Truthfully, this is a dangerous question. I asked myself this question, say, mid-March, and it led to a downward spiraling existential crisis where I had no idea whether I wanted to be an actor, a chemist, a writer, or a runaway, completely abandoning everything I've ever known. Even now, I still don't know. I mean, all I've ever been is a kid who was just good at studying. Personally, I don't think that merits speech, but I digress. This leaves me and us all with a profound question with which to start. What do we want out of tomorrow? I think that it's okay not to have the answer. I mean, I'm 18. We're all 18, give or take a few of your summer birthdays. Given the miracles of modern medicine, we have a possible 80 years ahead of us. But we're only 20% done. We may not know what we want to do with our lives yet, but that's okay. We should feel no pressure to pigeonhole ourselves into any predetermined fate when we share equal concern between our future and finding a party on a Friday night. So, spoiler, they're not of equal importance, but we don't have to accept that yet. What isn't okay, however, from here on out, is idleness. We are in a metamorphosis. We've all been our cocoons for quite a few months, sitting by, waiting for an opportunity to emerge. Now is not the time to fall flat, but to soar from the husk of high school that has allowed our transformation. Now's our time to soar. We can't wait for our wants of tomorrow to come to us, like watching from ashore as a ship named Destiny leisurely sails by. Some reality I need to share, that ship doesn't pull up. In fact, the only way we're getting on that ship is if we're swimming out into those seas, screaming for it to throw down a ladder and climbing aboard. Some may call you a pirate for stealing that boat, but I like to call you proactive for steering your own destiny. We can't let our time just slip by, sitting here apathetically in ordinary life. It's too short to let that happen, and I'm afraid that what we're all going to do is settle into our fates, settle into average, because we didn't understand we needed to act. Where was our senior prank? Where was our senior cut day? Did we do Mr. Bennett's core tenets justice, letting these rites of passage be stripped away? We must be fighters for our fates, not simply commentators, always positing with, I wishes, and wouldn't that be great? And not doing anything about it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm done with letting anything pass and ready to start seizing my future. I think we're all done with wishing and ready to seize the day. Did I just mention Carpe Diem? Oh man, how cliche. No, the hardest question, though, is how do we go forth and seize the day? I think we're all a bit inexperienced in that respect, so I've come up with my own core tenets, a threefold path to breathing tomorrow and leaving an impact on this world. Everything I'm about to say is completely opinionated and subjective, so value it as you may. Step one in making tomorrow yours is go forth and be happy. This may seem to be a given, but it's often forgotten in materialism. Money, luxury, and social status all get in the way of the basic human need to be fulfilled. If money were no object, if we didn't want the nicest car, and if we didn't need to prove anything to anyone, with what are we left? We're left to find happiness, for no one else but ourselves. But it's not that simple, you may say. How do we find what makes us happy? Hopefully you've already gotten some time to explore what makes you happy with your tenure here at Sable. Despite common belief, this school is not our prison. It is our gateway to personal realization. We were all here to discover what appeals to us and what doesn't. I'm sure plenty of kids can take a second to reflect on finding even a modicum of passion in the math and sciences, the language arts, the social sciences, or any one of our BOCES programs, which, on a side note, go vastly underappreciated. Even if you hated everything, at least you know that now. Process of elimination your way to learning about your happiness. We've all got a little time to dabble already, and whether it was good or bad, at least we have it. But the learning curve doesn't end at graduation. Life is a school, and we're lucky enough to be presented with a completely customizable, real-world learning experience where we can do anything we want. We can be anything we want. Each of us can start our own business, write a book, but become a Chilean alpaca farmer. Or not, I mean. No one has the right to tell us no anymore. Our lives are finally completely self-directed. We are now bestowed with the freedom to go forth with what makes us happy, or at least try to find what it is that makes us happy. We can't waste it. The second step on the path of my Carpe Diem guide is limited by our time period. Although we may have it easy, I mean, none of us have died of measles, or I've had to deal with invading Norsemen. We were born in a time just beyond and behind the precipice of conquering the great challenges. We were born too early to explore the realms of our galaxy, and we were born too late to explore our planet. We have no Great War. We have no Great Depression. Our war now becomes a spiritual war, and that just makes our challenge that much more important and rewarding. So, I challenge us all, after being happy, to go forth and be great. Be a person who everyone will want to know. Someone interesting, someone exciting, someone willing to face the world before them. Every person who has or ever will be born possesses the potential to be extraordinary because there is no one like you. You are unique. You have the potential for greatness. Prove it. But how do we become extraordinary? How do we become great? It's easy, really. Once you know what makes you happy, commit yourself to it. Commit yourself to something and reach your full potential. Leave a mark in your field. Be a revolutionary. Do it like no one has ever done before. If in nothing else, be great in what you love. And then, after that, find a new love and do it all over again. We'll reflect upon our lives and want to turn and just say to anyone, wow, this is cool. But what if we turn and no one is there? Was any of this aspiring for happiness, aspiring for greatness, really worth it then? Here's the final and most important step 3 to making tomorrow ours. On our way to the top, we must go forth and love. I've always put the greatest stock in interpersonal relations, and truthfully, what is the point of living without someone to love? I've told you all that you better find something, an activity or occupation that makes you happy and great to reach the uppermost potential of life, but it can be a lonely, myopic road to the top, and friendship is the single most valuable thing in this world that makes it all worth it in the end. Because who's going to be there with us when our luck turns bad? What happens when we are not so happy? What happens when we are not so great? I can tell you that the purported go-forth attitude sure isn't enough to pull us through sometimes. So what's left for us? Who will keep our heads held high and legs moving when life becomes too much to bear? A friend. Maybe like many of the friends we have here, amongst this crowd of shared experience. Stay in touch. Keep a smile on your face and an open ear. Break down boundaries and forge friendships. Who knows when you may need them? Now it's over, class of 2014, or should I say, class of it doesn't matter anymore. We step away from this life into another, where the titles of yesterday are no longer important. All that matters is how we make the next day ours. Strive to be happy, strive to be great, and maybe make a friend or two along the way. Make each passing day more important, more fulfilling, and more joyous than the last. Go forth and leave a history, leave an impact, and have a little bit of fun on the way. It's our time. Make tomorrow count, because each of you is unique. And me? Huh. I was just pretty good at studying. Congratulations, my friends. Step into tomorrow.
Thank you, Lee.